I'm Chef Joe from Clean Eating. Homemade chicken stock is one of the best things you can have in your fridge to add lots of flavor to any of your recipes. So today I'm going to show you how to make it. Now, first thing you need is some chicken bones, and you can pick these up from your local butcher. They should give them to you for next to nothing. So you need a couple of these guys in here. Now, if you're butchering chicken at home, you can save your bones in a bag in the freezer until you have enough to make some stock. And don't worry if they've got a little bit of fat on them like this guy does, because we're going to skim that off at the end, so it's no big deal at all. So we'll put these in here. Now next we need to add some flavor in the form of vegetables. So we've got an onion, yellow cooking onions. We've got some carrots, and you just want to make sure that they're chopped in nice big chunks. Don't worry too much how pretty they look. There, and some celery. Now it's also really important to use really good quality ingredients in your stock because it's going to taste like whatever you put in it. So use good quality stuff. And then next we have some spices. So we've got some peppercorns. Now you need about 8 to 10 peppercorns, so you don't have to count them. You can just kind of take a small pinch and put them right in your pot. And some bay leaves, so 2 nice bay leaves. And a little bit of fresh thyme. Now you could add some parsley stems in there if you like as well, but this will do the trick quite nicely. Now if you want, you can put them in a cheesecloth. So you can put your peppercorns in here, some bay leaf, and just kind of fold them over a little bit. And you can put your thyme in there as well. And make sure it's got double thickness, so you want to fold it over. And you can just sort of roll this up into a little pouch. So this little spice bag is great to add into your stock because it makes it really easy to remove all the little tiny spices like the peppercorns and all of that. This is also really good if you're making soup. You can throw this right in your soup and it makes it really easy to pull it out, especially if you don't have a fine strainer. It's great. Now if you don't have cheesecloth, you can just put all the spices into your soup because you're going to strain them out. So now we've got our stock ready to go on the stove. So you're going to bring it to a boil over high heat. As soon as it boils, turn it right down to low and let it simmer for about 3 hours. It's going to make your house smell amazing. So our stock has been simmering for 3 hours and it smells absolutely gorgeous. Now we have to strain it. And I don't have a large fine mesh strainer, so here's what I like to do. I'm going to take all these big chicken bones out and just drop them into my colander. We'll pull this a little closer so I'm not dripping stock all over my counter. And there we go. These are almost all out. Now this just makes it easier so it doesn't splash all over. And then we can just strain all this liquid. Make sure you pour it away from you into the colander. Look at that. It smells amazing. All of it in there. Okay, there we go. Now you can carefully lift this out. And because this is a large colander, you're still going to have some small bits, probably your peppercorns, sort of floating around in all this beautiful liquid. So now we've got all the big pieces out, we can strain it through our fine mesh strainer. And you'll see a couple of little bits and pieces, our little herbs will be in there. And there you go. So now what you want to do is put this in your fridge, and what will happen is any fat that's collected in the stock is going to solidify on the top. So you can scoop that fat layer off and you've got a beautiful, beautiful chicken stock that you can use in all your recipes. So to store it, I've got a good tip. We've taken our stock and just put it into an ice cube tray, and that way when you want to use just a few cubes, you could just pop this out. And these will defrost really, really quickly, and they're easy to use for any of your recipes. Remember when we were preparing our stock, I told you you needed to use cold water. Now it's really important because you'll get a nice clear stock. Once all the fat solidifies and comes to the top, your stock will be really beautiful and clear. Now if you're storing this in your fridge, it'll take about probably 8 hours or so to cool off completely and for all the fat to solidify to the top. And when you're storing it in your fridge, it'll last for up to 3 to 4 days. Otherwise you want to put it in the freezer and it'll last for up to 3 months. I'm Chef Joe. For this recipe and more tips and tricks, visit us again at cleaneating.com.